Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lil and I am so excited to have you all with me today, but hold up. This is a spoiler reading vlog. I cannot talk about my Crescent City 3 reading journey without talking about the characters in the book. I tried filming a clip earlier and it was just extremely impossible. I had to be very vague. I couldn't talk about any of the scenes. I couldn't talk about any of the characters. I couldn't talk theories, predictions for the book without talking about anything. So it would have been a very boring reading vlog, and I went back and forth multiple times on whether I was going to make this spoiler free or include spoilers in it. So if you haven't read Crescent City 1, Crescent City 2, or Crescent City 3, because I'm assuming that you've read the book before you're watching this video, stop watching and exit out. You need to be caught up on all the mass books before watching this video. All of Throne of Glass, all of ACOTAR, all 3 Crescent City books, so that you can fully enjoy my reading journey. I think that is sufficient enough of a warning that this is going to be a spoiler reading vlog of Crescent City 3. And I am so excited to be jumping into this book. I've been waiting for the 3rd book in this series for over a year since this one pubbed, and I read it, and we were left with that absolutely horrible cliffhanger. Not horrible, I loved the cliffhanger, but just that we had to wait over a year for the next book to come out was tragic and very hard. But my copy of Crescent City 3 is coming later today. I've already jumped in. Yesterday was January 30th, pub day. I had a friend come over, Caroline. We started reading the book. I got a couple chapters in last night. I've read a couple chapters today, but I'm pausing for now, waiting till my physical book gets here before I really dive back in. So my thoughts so far, I believe I'm on chapter 9. Let me just say, I am so excited that our ACOTAR characters are back in action in this book, because, I mean, it's been forever since Silver Flames has come out, it seems like, and we're gonna have to wait even longer for the next ACOTAR book, but I think that is the next one that's being published. I am so excited to be back in Valaris. Let me just tell you, I've really missed it. I am actually loving the dual plot lines of being in Crescent City and also being in ACOTAR, particularly Prithian and Midgard. I'm excited to be back in both of those worlds. I'm loving the POVs that we're getting. So far, the torture scenes, they're really hitting hard. They're really giving me some PTSD to Throne of Glass. Yeah, I'm like an emotional train wreck, but it's fine. I'm very intrigued. So far, I'm loving the pacing. The pacing is much better for me in this book so far than it was for Crescent City 2. For those of you who don't know, I did give House of Earth and Blood 5 stars, but for House of Sky and Breath, I only gave this 4 stars. The pacing was just really off for me. I wasn't as invested in the plot line. Obviously, the ending was chef's kiss, amazing, but this book was just not like a super hit for me, so 4 stars it was. It was a very good book. I did have a great time reading it. Just this book is definitely my favorite in the series so far, but I have a prediction that Crescent City 3 is really going to take the cake for me. But those are my thoughts so far. If I think of anything else to add to you guys, I'll definitely let you know. As far as this video goes, I have absolutely no idea how many days it's going to take me to read Crescent City 3. I am hoping to take my time and not fly through it, but I think that's going to be really hard the first go around because I'm just so excited to be back in this world. So if I fly through it, that just means I'm due for a reread later in the year or early next year. That's what I keep telling myself. So, so far, House of Flame and Shadow, really enjoying it. I'm so excited to be back with our characters and back in this universe. Both of the universes combined. the Massverse. Very excited to be back in the Massverse. So I'm excited to have you guys all along on this reading journey with me. That's it for me for now. I will see y'all later when my book officially gets here and we can open it together. And then we'll just kind of read along. This is my first vlog on this channel, so we'll see how it goes. Also, just take a moment for the sweatshirt. I have 0 Crescent City merchandise, so I think that's probably needed after this book. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now, so I'll catch you guys soon. One more thing before we really get going in this vlog, I did want to do one more disclaimer, is that there might be some mispronunciation throughout this vlog, and I do apologize in advance. It's just that all these characters' names, I've been saying them in my head while I'm reading a completely different way than they're actually supposed to be pronounced. So I'm going to look up a pronunciation guide for the characters in this book and in the Massverse, so that when I come back on later in this vlog, hopefully I'm pronouncing everyone's names right and all the locations correctly. But if there are some errors, please don't come for me. I'm trying my best. Okay, you guys, it is officially here. I wanted to unbox on the video. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. She's stunning. Oh my goodness, let me close these scissors. Oh, she is so pretty. That inside. I am a read with the desk jacket off kind of person. I love this one, how it's just completely solid color. Like, it's just completely black. I wish the other ones would have been completely red and completely blue, so they all kind of matched. But in the inside pages, beautiful. Okay, I am so excited to get to reading again. Okay, I have a couple more things that I need to wrap up for work before I dive back into this, but I did want to show you this for myself. I wrote a little Happy New Year gift receipt. I think that's so funny. I pre-ordered this book back in like mid-year last year, so I guess I just figured I'd write Happy New Year because it pubbed in January. But I put my bookmark in. We are going to be picking back up on chapter 9, but like I said, got a couple more things I have to wrap up for work, but I'm so excited to dive back in. It's taken everything in me to not keep reading on my phone, but I feel like I just have to read the physical copy. But I can't believe she's here. She's so pretty. They all look so good together. And yeah, I'm so excited to get back into it. Okay, it's the next day. I only got up to chapter 12 yesterday. I have not read anything yet. It is 5:30. I've been working all day long, but I am going to jump back into it. But I did want to give you guys some thoughts really quickly. So I was a little nervous at the beginning with the POV switching, but I'm actually really liking that. I, of course, want to just be in the night court and have all of our ACOTAR characters present in the scenes, but I know that the book would not go on like that since this is Crescent City. But the torture scenes with Lydia and Rune and Hunt and Baxian are killing me. They're really reminding me of certain scenes in toward the end of Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash. So I'm really nervous for the upcoming chapters because I just don't know what's going to happen. But I'm glad that Lydia has finally met up with like Declan and Flynn and Ethan and Mark and all of like the sprites and Ariadne, the dragon shifter. Yeah, I'm glad that that's finally happening. And I'm really hoping that we finally learn a little bit more about Hunt's background in this book. That's kind of been hinted that that will happen, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. I don't really have any predictions so far, but I am really enjoying it. The pacing is perfect for me. There's action, but then there's also some slower scenes. And I just feel a lot more invested in this than I was towards the end of my Crescent City 2 reread, because I was just kind of reading to finish it and get going on this. But yeah, I think that's all I have for now. Oh, and one more thing is the dynamic between Nesta and Bryce. I am living for that. I think they're very good like counterparts in both of the series. So all like the snarky comments back and forth, and I wouldn't necessarily call it banter, but just like the comments that they're making to each other, I'm loving it. And I'm at the point where they were walking through the underground tunnels that they didn't really know existed, but I think they knew they existed. I don't really know, but Asriel just showed up, so I'm here for him to finally be in the book and to get more of Asriel, because I've been patiently waiting for his ACOTAR book. So that's where I'm at right now. Not sure how much I'm gonna read tonight. If I don't update you guys today, I will update you more tomorrow on my thoughts and kind of what is happening and how I'm feeling. I am so unwell right now. Okay guys, it is again the next day, February 2nd, and last night I made it up to chapter 21, so I'm going to pick up at chapter 22 today. A couple of thoughts. The Midgard worm showing up again was not what I expected at all in this book. Yeah, I don't know. In the first time we see him in the book, I was like, okay, that's it. Just like a little cameo appearance of him. But no, dude came back again. It's not the same one, I know, because I killed him. But another worm. And like, how do the ACOTAR people not know that these exist? Anyways, but that whole scene was very much a lot of drama. But again, living for the Bryce, Nesta, Asriel dynamic. I'm loving the connections that they're making. And then the whole reveal scene of the Lost Dusk Court. I mean, I think we were all expecting it. That was a very big theory that was going around. But holy crap, that Asterai and Daglin, horrible people, absolute scum of the earth. And then the torture scenes between Hunt and Rune and Baxian, trying to get a tool to help them get out of their chains. The best option was to bite off his hand, to bite off Rune's hand. That was literally the only option they can think of. And then they bit his hand off and it didn't even work. They got caught. So that's where I'm picking up, is where they got caught today. But still, I'm still loving it. I'm really trying to read slow, but last night I kept saying, just one more chapter, just one more chapter. Ended up reading like 5 more chapters after I said that, but it's fine. I'm excited to pick back up today. I do have work, so I'm probably only going to read when I have my breaks during work and lunch. And then I am getting off a little bit early today at 3, so I'm going to go over to Caroline's house and read some more with her. So maybe we'll do a little vlogging session while I'm there. But yeah, I'm excited to dive back in. Girly really just killed another Asterai with Asriel and Nesta, and then decided to open another portal and just blindly jump into it again, not knowing where it's going to take her. Finished part 1, moving on to part 2. Okay, I'm getting ready to head over to Caroline's house to read. I finished up my work day. I did read a couple more chapters during lunch and some more thoughts. The Hind obviously, she has now helped Hunt and Baxian and Rune escape. That reuniting between Rune and Lydia, reuniting is in like, he seems like he's kind of starting to care for her again. Broke my heart. She just died. That's how the chapter ended. I don't think she's actually dead. I think Therian is going to come through and save our girl, because I literally cannot see Rune torn apart anymore. Man deserves a world. And then Bryce, you know, yeah, she jumps through the portal again to who knows where. Ended up back in her father's study, so Autumn King, hate him, obviously. Not really sure what's going to happen there, but I'm going to be curious to see what happens when the news breaks that Hunt has escaped and he is free. Well, free again. Those are my quick thoughts. I'm going to head over to Caroline's now. We're going to keep reading, and I will update you guys later. Okay, so when I said earlier that Bryce just like opened another portal and then just jumped in without really deciding where she was going, I take that back. Girl thinks ahead. She knew exactly where she was going. She really played the Autumn King. She really played him. I loved that. That was great to see, because he was so thrown off, and I was thrown off as the reader. I was not expecting that. The escape scene with Lydia getting Hunt, Rune, and Baxian out of the Asteri hold, loved it. Traumatizing, because I thought she was actually dead, but most of me was like, no, she's not dead. They'll heal her somehow, and they did heal her. But that was a very traumatizing scene and just kind of hard to read. And then, oh yeah, Bryce just being like, Hunt will always be my home. I'm going to think of Hunt as I open this next portal, and my home is him, so that is where I'm going. Killed me. Obviously, that's not exactly what she said, because I can't remember the exact words, but... And for Bryce, home was and would always be Hunt. Yeah. Their reuniting scene, I wish they wouldn't have been with the Ocean Queen at the time, because that would have just been, you know, probably a lot of smut for Sarah J. Maas at that point. And then Lydia having kids. I was not expecting that. Curious to see how that all is going to play out with her and Rune, since they're still kind of not really so much on talking terms, and they're kind of just dealing with each other. What else have I learned? And then Ethan killing the Fender heir. Honestly, there's so much to talk about and so much to dissect with this book that I feel like I just keep forgetting exactly what I've told you, but let me just say my mind has been blown multiple times. I'm so invested. It's definitely going to become my favorite Crescent City book, because I was immediately sucked in, and I've stayed sucked in, and I'm just, all I want to do is just sit and read this book. But it also has the potential to go into my top 3 Sarah J. Maas books of all time. So we shall see, but right now I am getting ready to start chapter 44. I will probably only read a couple more chapters tonight, so I'll update you guys tomorrow. And this weekend is going to be pretty busy, so not sure how much reading I'm going to get done. So this might be looking like a pretty long time taking me to finish the book, but that's okay. I'm savoring it, taking my time. I'd rather do that than fly through it and then not have any Sarah J. Maas to read. So that is it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hi, it's been a minute. Yesterday was Saturday the 3rd. Now it is Sunday the 4th. I did not vlog at all yesterday because I didn't really get much reading done, but this morning I've made it up to 65%, so I'm getting ready to start chapter 61. But a couple of thoughts. Rune and Lydia, it seems like they are getting it back on track to where they were before everything went down at the end of the last book. So I'm living for that tension and the banter that is currently happening. And then Bryce and Hunt have officially ended up in hell. So we'll see how that goes. I've learned like the prophecy of the Star Sword and the Truth Teller, and how Bryce can actually use those to open up the like nothing space to put the Asteri in and get rid of them and just kind of leave them there with nothing. But now Adis has said something about opening up the Northern Rift completely. So curious to see how that's going to play out. Tharian really out here making all these poor decisions and then decides to randomly marry someone that he's never met before, Flynn's sister. So that's fun for him. But I'm planning to get a lot of reading done today. I don't know if I'll finish, but I'm hoping to get a good chunk in. And I'm just really scared for the emotional damage that I'm probably going to go in through the rest of this book. But I am glad that I'm reading it slow and didn't read it all in a few days, because there's so much information. In an update, I do officially think that this is going to be a top 3 Sarah J. Maas book for me, because I'm living for it. I love it so much. Yeah, and no more Az and Nesta. Sad. I don't think she's going to end up back with the ACOTAR characters, but you never really know. It does say that the Fae people will be united, so we'll see if we get more like Rhys and Feyre. But yeah, so far so good. That's my Sunday update. I will let you guys know if I have updates later, but if not, you will probably just have some videos of me reading, and then I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Also, please ignore my forehead injury. We're just not gonna talk about it. It just like randomly happened, but I'm good. I just know it's like kind of distracting, so. Every time the lighted up phrase in this book comes up, I'm like internally crying. And the way I just gasped at Bryce figuring out lighted up to light up this world with the Star Sword and Truth Teller and putting them in the ground and turning a lock. Also, so happy that the Autumn King is dead. And Morven, the Autumn King was the absolute worst. So I'm glad that Rune was able to get his revenge and hopefully has some inner peace now, knowing that his father is dead. And Morven was just, a piece of crap. So I'm so scared because we're getting to like the 200 pages left mark, and that's when like everything always hits the fan in these SGM books. So I'm praying for my sanity. Okay, so quite a bit has happened since the last time I talked to you guys. I'm still not done. I still have like a little over 100 pages left, but I could not keep reading last night because it was getting to the point where I knew I wasn't going to be able to stop. But my boyfriend is on night shift tonight, so I will be reading this and then I'm sure sobbing because of it. A lot of updates since the last time we talked. So Sabine is dead. The Prime of the Wolves is dead. Ethan is now the Prime. Yeah, that took a hot minute to process. And then Hypaxia, I can't pronounce her name. She killed the Under King in the Bone Quarter. So now she's the head of House of Flame and Shadow. Okay, there's been like a lot of deaths in this book. Like a lot of like major deaths. I thought maybe SJM was going to drag it out a little bit, but a lot of the main characters that we hated, like the Autumn King and the Under King and Sabine, dead. So who am I supposed to want dead now besides the Asteri? I'm sure there's probably more people, but like Celestina popped up when they were opening the Northern Rift. We saw Nesta again. Hold up, an ACOTAR character came back. They opened the Northern Rift to Valaris, into like Nesta's apartment or house. I don't know where exactly she's living with Cassian. Opened it there. Bryce asked for the mask, like pleaded for it so that they could, raise the fallen from the war that Hunt was in before. Nesta handed it over, but to ensure that Bryce was going to come back and get it, Bryce offered up her parents. So her parents are just like roaming around Valaris right now while Bryce is trying to like figure out how to take down the Asteri. Makes sense. Oh, and then Rune and Lydia. We finally got them back, baby. I've been waiting. Rune has suffered far too long. He got his revenge on the Autumn King, killing him. And then he's really working to get Lydia back. Lydia is now back. I'm still scared for how that's going to play out, only because her kids were captured by the Asteri. So, unsure how that is going to affect that whole relationship for the next 100 pages, but I'm really hoping that no one else dies. Well, no one major that we like love dies, because I'm very scared. But where I ended off yesterday was Rune and Lydia, finally got together, finally are doing the thing. And Ethan went back and he's now the Prime, but a lot of the wolves have left because they need like time to process this, because they saw the old Prime get killed, they saw Sabine get killed. So unsure of how all of that is going to play out. But let me just tell you, I'm so scared. So scared. This is likely going to be the last day of my vlog. I do have to work, which is unfortunate because all I want to do is just read this. But I'm going to do my work day. I'm not going to read. Even during lunch, I'm going to pick up a little romance on my Kindle because I will just fall back into this hole. So my plan is after work to read this and likely just like finish the end of it because I'm not going to be able to stop. So I will record me reading. I'm gonna try to record reactions to stuff. We will see if that is me like doing a time lapse or if I just like pick up the camera when something crazy happens. But we are in this journey together, so we will see how the last like 100 pages of this book goes. I'm very sad that it's going to be over soon because I love Sarah J. Maas and I'm already like time to go back and reread Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, I guess, because I just reread these. Seems like the only logical thing to be doing. But yeah, that is my update from yesterday and my kind of plan for today. So I will see you guys this afternoon after work when I'm finally ready to pick this baby back up. So it's the next day. I didn't read anything yesterday, even though I said I was going to finish the book, because I felt ill. I was not feeling very good last night, and you're not feeling good when you can't read at all. So didn't read, fell asleep really early, but it is now January 6th. We have come up to the 8-day mark of reading this book. So we are in fact finishing it tonight though, because I'm not going another day without knowing how this book ends. So, time to buckle up and dive in. Okay. Cry count number 1 of this like last 100 pages. Okay, I mean, I figured that Lydia and Rune were mates, but they're, like, actually mates. And he just offered himself up to save her and her sons. Sarah J. Maas is gonna break my heart so many times. I'm so scared. Therian better be okay. This mayor boy be annoying sometimes, but I still love him. Pollux is dead. Let's go. I'm so curious about Lydia's, like, true bloodline and form, because that was some crazy stuff that just happened. Why the heck I didn't piece this together when she said, Brannon, we're getting Throne of Glass. I have this crossover. I literally cannot, like, Sarah J. Maas, who are you? What is your brain? I wish mine worked like that, but you are a literal mastermind. Holy crap. Space. Sucked into space. An black airless place. Are you kidding me? I swear that better not be the last time we see Bryce. There's still like 60 pages. I can't. Quite literally not. I swear Hunt better bring back our girl. And Shahar. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just gonna be like crying for the last how many pages are left? The last like 40 pages of this book. I swear. Oh my gosh, the through love all is possible line with everyone trying to hold the portal open for Hunt and Bryce. Oh my god. She can't be dead. She's the main character. She can't be dead. It's not happening. Oh my gosh. This book. Jessica. Connor, Danica, Lebaha. The way that whole second half of that chapter just like absolutely like destroyed my soul. But our girl Bryce is coming back. Ugh. Someone needs to give me the next ACOTAR book ASAP. ASAP. Because Nesta and Cassian, man, let me just tell you, I need it right now. I need to know what's happening with the Star Sword and Truth Teller in ACOTAR. Need to know right now. We're done. I am unwell. It is going to take me a lot of time to process this book completely. But this vlog has gone on far too long already. Everything is wrapped up quite nicely, you know. The Asteri are gone. Now they're figuring out, well, the next book, I'm sure they'll be figuring out how to kind of rule Midgard, unless SJM writes it so that they're doing that in between books. But oh my goodness. Okay, so very excited for the next ACOTAR book to come out, because I feel like we got a little snippet of what's to come with the Star Sword and Truth Teller. Maybe they'll do that in that book and, you know, heal the prison. I don't know, my mind is kind of just blown. 5 stars. Easy 5 stars. I can confidently say that this is a top 3 book for me for Sarah J. Maas. I don't know if it necessarily tops Accordionist and Fury and Kingdom of Ash, but pretty dang close to both of those books. So, yeah. But thank you all for watching this video and going along on this reading journey with me. I hope that you guys also enjoyed your read of this book. It truly was a masterpiece, and I'm so excited to keep reading Sarah J. Maas in the future. But I think now, it's safe to say, I'll be going back and rereading Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, and then probably holding off on a reread of these until a little bit later on, but I'm sure they'll get reread at some point. But yes, thank you all for joining me for this video and following my reactions and this journey that we went on throughout this read. Hope you all enjoyed your read. Let me know in the comments below how this one ranks in your SJM rankings. I'm curious to find out, and let me know if you liked it or not. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me.